Joan Didion wrote about the Santa Ana wind and what it did to people. She opens her essay Los Angeles Notebook with, "There's something uneasy in the Los Angeles air this afternoon." Her way of writing about the weather and the landscape was a way to reflect the culture and the experience of living in a place. She uses the Santa Ana wind to say something about people and something about the relationship between people and landscape. We all project meaning onto the environment. Even in our descriptions, our language has an impact. Didion writes, "The Santa Ana wind is a foehn wind. A foehn wind has distinct characteristics. It occurs on the leeward slope of a mountain range, and, although the air begins as a cold mass, it is warmed as it comes down the mountain and appears finally as a hot, dry wind. Whenever and wherever a foehn wind blows, doctors hear about headaches and nausea and allergies, about nervousness, about depression." She also quotes Raymond Chandler, who says that on nights when the Santa Ana wind blows in, every booze party ends in a fight. Anything could happen. Folding is a way to bring your writing into the bigger picture, to find a way to link what you've observed with something that might be culturally or socially relevant. I'm now on top of the hill overlooking the entire park. Sometimes from this view, Bendigo can look like Europe, with its tall steeples and far-off mountains. It's old architecture. I've recently written a creative piece about this park, about bats hanging from the trees and the pond that houses, or did house, a flock of ibis birds before they were moved along. And the pond was slowly drained. I'm writing about the detail of what makes these animals homes, but I'm also writing about the wider home, the environment, and what happens to it. I'm using it as a way to think about how I feel about home, my home in far north Queensland, and homesickness. The landscape is a way into this topic for me. Trying to empathise with the experiences of the animals helps me empathise with the more abstract notion of the experience of the earth or the climate. Let's take your field notes from today and think about how you might fold them together. What links them? What do they say about a bigger picture, or the wider lens that we talked about in grounding? Can you relate them to a cultural moment, a social phenomena, or simply a feeling or mood about this specific place and time? This is similar to a non-fiction writing technique called braiding, where the writer will weave 2 or 3 different threads together. This is a challenging technique, but has a rewarding payoff for the reader if the writer is able to deftly bring these separate threads together. When I say folding, I'm thinking of a more gentle approach, folding what you've written into a larger topic. To do this, we're going to go through the free writing you've done in the previous chapters and highlight your favourite lines. Highlight anything that feels evocative or true for you and pull it to the fore. What seems to be coming out of these lines and evocations? It could simply be a mood for how you feel about a place or a day or a moment in time. You might notice that memories are emerging in your writing, in the crunching of leaves or the patches that you've decided to describe. Maybe they're linked to something in the past for you, or something in the future, some sort of hope. Go through and find these lines. Once you've pulled them out, put them somewhere separate and see what they do when they're isolated together. Try to link them together. What are they telling you? Didion is writing about a wind, but she's also writing about behaviour. I'm writing about the park, but I'm also writing about a haunting. What are you writing about when you write about nature?